Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Thursday. Happy day after the new episode of The Real Housewives of Miami. Happy day after the new episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Happy Southern charm and getting into the new year because that's exactly what we need. Right now, nobody can stop talking about The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, from Heather Gay to Monica Garcia to Jen Shah, Andy Cohen, Whitney Rose, Meredith Marks, Lisa Barlow, Angie Katzenabas. It is all over the place, and not to mention that burn book. But right now we're back to talk about Andy Cohen and Jen Shah because Jen Shah made a statement and Andy Cohen had a rebuttal. So we're going to sit here and break it all down. And also, I have some new receipts that have been given to me, and I'm dropping them tomorrow on Hot Messy Topics. And it has to do with Salt Lake City, and they're never before seen. So before we jump in again, smash that like button, show some love. Let's get messy.
Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it.
Okay, you guys. So you know that Heather Gay ended up coming out with this revelation on The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, where I don't even know if it was a revelation. Some people believe it, some people don't, that Jen Shah was the one who actually punched her in the eye. Now, I've told you guys time and time again that I was told a different story, that Heather Gay, this is what I was told. Was I in the room? No. Was I there? No. What I was told was that she and then had a little vape pen, got a little wobbly, lost her balance, and fell. The only reason I believed it was because I have a friend who did the exact same thing. So, with that, I didn't understand if somebody punched you in the face, the way that, like, that's aggressive. You're saying this woman punched you in the face. Let me tell you, if you punch me in the face, you're dead to me. You're not only dead to me, you're done. Like, I'm going to make sure you will never see my face again. You won't get the satisfaction of seeing the black eye. You won't get the satisfaction of seeing shit because you just won't see it. So there was like there was a part of me that had a really hard time trying to understand and believe what Heather Gay was saying. But also, I don't want to take away from somebody else's side of the story, because on the other side, a lot of fans believed that Heather Gay was trying to protect Jen Shah and not add to what she was about to go through when it came to her trial with you guys know, the defrauding the elderly. So I look at it, it's like, which devil do I listen to? Now, with that, she ended up putting this out there on the finale. And after she did, Andy Cohen came back with a little bit of a rebuttal. He hit back at Jen Shah's black eye denial. Now, if you guys didn't see the denial, she said, "Bravo. If I punched Heather in the eye, you guys would have had footage of it. It's clear the show can't live without me since I was brought up at the beginning, middle, and end of season 4. Andy is still butthurt that I turned down his one-on-one interview. Why would you sit down with someone who gave another cast member a black eye?" Next story. Okay. I can look at this two ways. Monique Samuels came back on, and her and Candace Dillard Bassett got into it, and she went to the reunion, but she didn't give her a black eye. I mean, it is a good question, but maybe it was fascinating to Andy Cohen. But Andy had this to say. Let's get back into it. So Andy Cohen hit back at Jen Shah after she denied that she gave Heather Gay a black eye. This was on page 6, despite the latter confirming she was the culprit on The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City season 4 finale this past Tuesday. Now, following Heather's confession, Jen Shah took to her Instagram to share this. But she also took aim at Andy Cohen, saying that he's still butthurt that she refused the one-on-one interview with him following her conviction for fraud. What's funny is that interview was supposed to be mine. I mean, it was supposed to be Andy's, but after we did the first interview that disrupted everything, that interview was going to me. And then we had a conversation after the feedback of the first interview, and we talked about it. And I said, I think that I've touched on this. And I said, you can go to a bigger, whether it's Andy Cohen or a bigger network or a bigger platform. And I actually gracefully bowed out of this while still just being there to like listen to what Jen had to say. And Jen was never nothing. I mean, she was never anything but kind to me. I understand the history here with everybody else, but she was nothing but kind to me. And I was just like, I think that you can do better than up and at 'em. You can do bigger than up and at 'em. And if you can, do it. And she took that. But then she didn't really the platform that it was. I don't know. Anyways, back to it. So on Andy Cohen's radio show on Wednesday morning, he literally, who ironically, he was recently a victim of a telemarketing scheme, told listeners that the network did not have any footage of the alleged altercation. And if they did, they certainly would have aired it. But that doesn't mean that the incident did not happen. He said, I don't want to be Captain Obvious here, but if we had footage, don't you think we would have aired it? Don't you think we would have shown Heather saying, I don't know how I got the black eye? And then don't you think we would have had cut to the footage with her that said, 4 hours earlier? The explanation was a response to Jen Shah's assertion that Bravo would have footage to prove it if she had punched Heather in her eye. And a source close to Bravo told Page Six on Tuesday that the network doesn't have footage from when the injury occurred. Now, Andy Cohen also addressed Jen Shah's claim that he's still mad at her for turning down a previous interview offer. He said, second of all, I had forgotten about the one-on-one with Jen. She's right. I did want to do a one-on-one with her, but I don't care about it anymore. I'm over it. He also claimed that the reason that they didn't sit down for an interview was because Jen Shah's stipulations were insane. According to Andy Cohen, Jen Shah wanted Bravo to do a docu-series of her leading up to jail and a lot of money in exchange for the exclusive, despite the fact that she was still lying and professing her innocence at the time. So that's that. That was my response to that. But that's what he said. Although Heather Gay previously claimed that she didn't know how she sustained the injury, she revealed on Tuesday's finale that she lied to protect her former friend amid her trial. I felt like I had to lie to protect her. I did whatever it took. I went on a book tour and defended her and took shit for the fact that she gave me a black eye. Heather Gay changed her story numerous times. And that's the thing is I go back to the Emily D. Baker of were you lying then or were you lying now? Now, while she once said that she knew what happened and wanted her attacker to own up to it, she later claimed that she blacked out and didn't know what the hell happened to her. However, she often dropped hints that it was Jen Shah who inflicted the injury for sure. But there was also, I just received this text. And it was to Jen Shah's team saying, further to recent discussions, I am attaching a revised copy of Jen Shah's appearance release for the one-on-one and potential miniseries. This is being offered on a non-precedential, non-quotable basis. I want to hear what Andy Cohen has to say about this. Wait.
Who was just the victim of an online and phone scam where I lost a lot of money. This message comes at an interesting time. So let me just say that. I just need to predicate that I'm a current victim of fraud, which is what she is in jail for. I'm not connecting her to what I'm not saying that she's responsible for it, but I'm just saying it's ironic. But it's a hateful that thing she was involved in. Yeah. Yes. So I just have to point that out. Let me point out, I don't want to be Captain Obvious here, but if we had footage, don't you think we would have aired it? Do you think we wouldn't have said, Heather saying, I don't know how I got the black eye. And then don't you think we would have cut to the footage and with a chyron that said 4 hours earlier, pop.
Yeah.
You know,
graphic content warning.
That's first of all. That's quite obvious. Second of all, I had forgotten about the one-on-one with Jen. She is right. I did want to do a one-on-one with her.
Naturally.
I don't care about it anymore. I'm over it. Her stipulations were insane.
Which, by the way, I don't know her stipulations.
She wanted in exchange for this. I'm trying to remember the specifics. I know she wanted us to do a docu-series of her days leading up to jail. She wanted a lot of money, and she was still professing her innocence. So it would have been another interview of her sitting across from me, lying to my face, which we got at 2 reunions from her. So that's that. That's my response to that.
Okay. Well, guys, I want to hear what your response is to that. I'm going to post it in the community tab and ask you, who do we believe here? So if you're listening to this on the podcast, then make sure you leave us a review. Let us know what you think. We're definitely amping up the podcast this year. We are doing special, just one-off episodes that will only be on the podcast. But of course, we're always going to be doing things on here. And we're back to all of the lives, hot, messy topics and everything next week. We have our house under construction. We have a lot of things going on, and I have to record in between. So thank you for being so patient with us. I love you guys so much. Smash that like button, show some love, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.